This episode of WoW Weekly is brought to you by WoWweekly.net, your source for Warcraft and Blizzard news, guides, and editorials.
This week in Warcraft, well, not much has happened in Warcraft, but we're going to take a look at patch 6.0 and what you can expect from it. This week on this different type of podcast of WoW Weekly, I'm joined by Matt, who was making stupid faces, and LJ. Yes.
Who's making even stupider faces.
Just natural.
It's a natural look, man. Are you
I
criticizing us now? Huh?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
So, how are the two of you doing?
Fighting man flu valiantly.
I see.
I'm quite alright.
Red nose.
You know what? I don't feel sorry
just
for you
boobs.
at all.
That's just boobs. That's right in the red nose.
Yeah, exactly.
Alcohol.
Right.
That's what I mean.
So, let's face it, there hasn't been much news lately. Mainly because BlizzCon is in about a month. So, there's bound to be a lot more silence before they bring out the big guns. I'm assuming some Warcraft patch news and, well, maybe a StarCraft expansion here or there.
A Warcraft 3 HD remake?
Yeah, looking at the new client strings, hopefully. So, instead of all the regular stuff we usually do on the podcast, and there wasn't a podcast last week either because, let's face it, there wasn't much to talk about either. We're going to, instead of using Don't Stand in the Fire for it, we're going to do a patch survival guide. So, yes, I know. We also did one with patch 5.4, so why not again for 6.0? So I'd say let's just get right into it, and Matt, take us away. What are we going to be seeing in 6.0?
Well, as Mezzy and LJ know, I'm one of the slackiest people at the moment with this, so bear with me. I'll try and get as much as I can do. Going to start off with the main thing. There's going to be the stat squish, where all the stats are going, noob, your big numbers are going to be a lot lower now, people. It's going to be so depressing. So the basic gist of it is, I think from BlizzCon last year, if you've got, say, 525k health, you're going to go down to 38k health, and it's all roughly, I think me and Magic, it's about between 3 and 4% of what you've got now. They're taking away the hit, expertise, dodge, parry from all the gear, and apparently, and what Mezzy told me, I didn't know this because I slack, item upgrades with lesser charms of good fortune. So keep stacking up, people. If you're like me, slack, you're going to have to stop farming them again. Yay! As well, apart from that, you're going to have the ability pruning to reduce all the button bloat that there is at the moment. A lot of skills are being taken out. A lot of crowd controls are being merged together and all this type of stuff. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I think I looked earlier at the druids, and druids have like losing symbiosis, losing a lot of skills that are quite pointless. Nourish is a heal on Arresto, so we're losing Nourish, which is a pretty pointless skill. We don't really use it that much, and they're just trying to tidy everything up, so it looks a lot easier. Mezzy worded it in a very good way earlier, so I'm going to ask him to word it in that way now. Mezzy.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Ability pruning, you worded it in a very good way.
Well, I don't remember the exact sense, but basically, ability pruning comes down to things are going to get squished together. For example, cooldowns. For multiple classes, you'll actually see that what used to be two cooldowns will be squished together into one cooldown. Or perhaps they're removed entirely. Or for example, for hunters, Stampede it currently is a cooldown for every hunter. It's actually going to be changed into a talent when 6.0 comes out. So you'll see a lot of that being moved around, And another example for regular abilities, again for hunters, because my main is a hunter, Serpent Sting is being baked into Arcane Shot for at least survival and maybe Beast Mastery as well, although I'm not 100% sure on that. But the gist is you're going to have less buttons because Blizzard wants to open your action bars a bit.
Yeah, and they're doing stuff like with Life Bloom on druids. They've because I'm Bristow druid. Yay! You only have to put 1 on now instead of wasting 3. They're just going to compensate the healing and stuff like that. They're just trying to make it, I think, a little bit simpler, a little bit less things to worry, less things about rotation. I think I've got a little hunter, and even in my little hunter, I'm sitting there going, there's quite a bit to think of. So they're trying to make it a little bit simpler for everybody. Yay, casual. But I think we can all say...
You dare show your face here?
I think we can all say it did need to be doing, because there are a lot of pointless spells that we've got at the moment. And apart from, as well as all these wonderful things for actually the way the game plays, they're going to all know about the new player models. Now, we're seeing a lot of them. They look really quite cool. I like the look of all of them. They're not... I can't remember. They're not doing... Worgans at the moment, Worgans and Pandas and Goblins yet, but they may do in the future. Pandas don't, because they're the new ones anyway. They all look really good. I like the way the pixels are now looking and all that type of malarkey. You can also go to the barber shop like you always could. You could change your hair. Now, people, it's like Face Off. You can also change your face. So if you like Mezzy, and there's pictures of him in every city looking for him, he can change his face. He can become like a Grim Fandango and get away with everything. I just like the idea. Would you like some, I think LJ worded it the other day, would you like some hair off the side? And what about your face? How would you like your cheeks pulling back? What about your chin a little bit pointier?
Somebody made a nice, how do you call it, machinima? About it a while back as well. It's just, I think it's so funny to go to a barber shop, have different color hair, and then you turn around and you have a different face all of a sudden. It's just like, what the hell? I understand that they put it together, of course, but it's just a ridiculous idea of making a barber into a plastic surgeon.
I love the idea. I'm going to barber. I'm doing a raid. I'm doing PvP soon. I want my mean face.
Yeah.
I'm not PvPing today.
Your happy face.
So that's just a little bit of intro, into those 3 things. I will pass over to Mr. Mezzy now.
Alright, so one of the major changes for PvE coming in 6.0 is the raid difficulty changes. And now this graph, you might remember it from BlizzCon. Raid Finder will still be Raid Finder in 6.0, but it should scale from 10 to 25 people. Although I actually haven't heard much about that since BlizzCon, so we'll have to see once 6.0 is live, because things are still changing on the beta as well, so it's not completely certain. Flex is going to be called Normal Mode, and it will be for, 10 to 30 players, so the graph from BlizzCon says 25, but they've actually upped the amount to 30 players. Normal Mode, 10 and 25 are being put together, and they're going to be called Heroic Mode in 6.0. And that, so the new Heroic Mode, will also have the Flex technology. So for Progress guilds as well, in the first week of raiding, you'll actually have the ability to just take all your raiders up to 30 people into heroic raiding. So for Progress guilds, that's actually very useful because you don't have to sit anyone. And then finally, probably the most discussed of the changes is the current heroic modes 10 and 25 are also being merged together into Mythic mode, and that will be 20 players, which is going to be quite interesting. Now, other than the raid changes, there's also going to be some very good storage changes. So one of the big features will be the toy box. Now the toy box, you'll be able to put in most of your current toys. Stuff like trinkets and equipable items will not be featured in the toy box, but for me it's still freed up about 40 slots of bag space, which is quite welcome. It's a lot. So That's
You have
definitely
way
welcome.
too much time on your hands.
And that,
What else does Messi do but World of Warcraft?
Well, yeah, there is that.
well, these
So-
days I barely play WoW. But that aside, you can set favorites in your toy box. You can mark toys as your favorites, and those will be the first toys in the toy box when you open it on tab 1.
I want to be
Chugga
your
chugga chugga
favorite.
chugga
I
choo
want-
choo.
Yes, I
My
will.
favorite's gonna be the train wrecker. Mark my words.
Yes,
Screw
just like
that.
in the screenshot here, the wind-up train wrecker is one of my favorites because there are certain people in our guild that favor the train, so the
Rolf.
train wrecker will be handy. Yes, our squirrel-loving Rolf. Him aside,
Certified crazy.
yes, pretty much. Anyway,
I'm Danish, so it explains it all.
Oh, there goes our Danish fan base. Thanks, man.
well done, Matt. All right,
All
so.
two viewers.
Other than that, there's a lot more. The void storage is going to get an extra space. Now, why is this happening? It's because they delayed the transmog system that they wanted to implement. That's actually going to be saved for another patch, so we won't see it in the initial 6.0. So to save up more gear in your void storage for transmog, we actually got a second tab. Now, to help you out financially as well, the cost for transferring an item into the void storage is going to cost 10 gold per item instead of 25 gold. So you're going to save about 60% of the current cost, which should help you out while Blizzard is still sorting out some other features for future patches.
Cheaper is always better.
Yes, definitely. I think a lot of people will be really happy with that because, again, the transmog gear takes so much space.
Yeah.
So, well, they haven't.
My I think like 3/4 of my bank is full of transmog and my whole void storage. So yeah, I like transmog.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use half of them, but I just want to have them. So
Yeah, exactly. It's just great. And now there's two more things that will actually help you in your storage problems. Many crafting materials will now stack to 200. So think of your dust for enchanting or herbs. They are going to stack to 200. So that's pretty nice. And then
10 times better.
exactly. And then to add to that, you'll be able to store all those materials in the new Regents Bank tab in your bank. You'll have to open it for 100 gold, but after that you can just deposit all your materials into it, and you should be able to craft items with materials you have, even though the materials aren't in your bags, but for example in your bank. So that should help you out quite a lot. While
Finally.
That should be awesome because now I have to storage all my herbs and everything random on all alts. So I have to switch to all alts and look for all the crafting materials. So I'm glad that's over.
Yep, exactly. It's very, very useful.
Finally catching up with something that you use a lot in other games at the moment, so that's
Yeah.
a really good change.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So
Yes, you could. Try harder, man.
I'll try. I'll try. Okay, so besides actually changes and additions, there's also going to be quite some stuff removed from 6.0. From
And that's where I step in because I'll talk about the bad things because Messi doesn't want to. So there's going to be a lot of stuff removed, of course. So you have, for instance, the wolf mount from killing Garrosh, normal mode. It's getting removed as far as I know. So also the Lei Shen treasure key, so you could get an epic key from I believe it was bags or from killing the elites on the Throne of Thunder Isle of Thunder. You can't get those keys anymore, so yeah, I corrected it, Messi. I said Isle of Thunder. So
I didn't say anything.
No, that's going to be removed, so you won't be able to use those anymore. For that, I believe that's the palace run, right? For the gold runs.
Yes,
If I'm saying that
exactly.
correctly. Yeah.
And
So
the
those.
achievements associated with it will also be
Yeah.
removed from the
Yeah.
meta.
Yeah. That's for everything. By the way, ladies and gents who are watching, the achievements, of course, will be removed. Some will be turned into feats of strength, etc., etc. Such as also challenge modes will be removed. So get your Phoenix and your bronze, silver, and gold medals now. If you still want a or a Phoenix or a very awesome, can you still get the armor set? I'm not sure if they already
No,
removed that.
I believe the challenge modes are staying. You can still run them, but
Okay.
all the rewards are being removed.
Okay, so you can't get anything for it anymore. So basically, you don't even want to do them anymore unless you're that kind of a masochist. But further, a very good thing for a lot of people. I totally like it. Is that valor points and justice points are being removed, which means no more grinding for those. There's probably enough stuff to grind otherwise. Like Matt said before, for lucky coins, I believe you can now upgrade your gear. So you're gonna still have to go to the island and grind your head off. Um, but this does bring a couple problems with it because, for instance, there are some heirloom vendors that sell heirlooms with justice and valor points and/or valor points. And if you still need those, it's now you should get them now and have them in your banks, just sitting there waiting there because you won't be able to get them for a little while until Blizzard figures something out to solve this problem. Also, not getting removed, but the achievements will be removed for a lot from the Brawlers Guild. Certain bosses who gave achievements and such will be removed, and it's all going to be mixed up over the ranks. You get still the same bosses, but it's all going to be mixed up, and so the achievements will be gone for that. Furthermore, I might be missing some stuff here. A lot of stuff gets removed. I'm not going to go into further details because might be some items removed or such. I mean, the legendary cloak is in the next expansion. It's not going to be now just yet, so you still have time to do that. But yeah, there's a lot of bits and bobs that are going to be removed, replaced, maybe brought back in the expansion when they solve figure things out again. So I think that concludes the bad part of this podcast. Thanks again.
You're welcome, LJ. So, a lot of things are changing. Some good, some bad. We're getting close to 6.0. It's going to be either in a few days or in a weekend a few days. I know, very exact. But it's going really crazy right now because there's been 4 beta builds in the last 5 days. And I just saw on Twitter just now live, there's going to be a Saturday beta build. There's going to be a 5th beta build today.
Shit.
It's going insane quickly. So, looking at all these features, which will also be in 6.0, so soon, what do you think are the worst and best features or changes to the World of Warcraft? Matt, let's start with you.
I was going to start anyway. For me, I like the stat squish. Finally, I think we've said in the previous podcast. I was a little bit worried about the numbers that are being said nowadays because I think they are probably looking already at being quite high compared to what we all thought they were going to be. But when you actually look at the numbers back in the day, when they said, "Oh, we all thought we were going to add 38k," if you look at the numbers, I think we are probably where we meant to be. It is a bonus. Shame it's not a little bit further. Ability pruning, as I said, they're only getting rid of spells that I've never really used. They're only getting rid of spells. That's going to be nice. The bars are going to be a little less cluttered. It's going to be nice. Unfortunately, Mezzy, the storage things isn't such a big issue for me because my bags are horrible anyway. The materials tab, as I said when you said it, is a really good change, and especially you can make stuff while it's in it. I do like that. A lot of other games have that now, where you just get all your stuff, bung it in a bank. Guild Wars was very good at it. The Guild Wars had a thing where you played, you got all your materials, you could actually right-click and send it to your bank straight away. So you didn't actually have to be next to your bank. So you could right click, send it, and it will go there. This would say I played that a very long time ago, and then when you make your stuff, it just takes every material you have on your account in your bank, and that was a really good change. I think that is going to go that way as well, so it is going to be nice. You don't have to think, okay, have I got all that stuff in my bag? Oh no, is LJ? Which account is it on? And
yeah, exactly. I used to have like a just one character for it, but I got so much stuff and so many herbs that it just became insane, and I had to use every character basically.
yeah, so that it is going to be good, and say all the materials stacked to 200. I think the simple changes are going to be the ones that people will like the most. You've got to, like, the ones that grab everything, the ones that grab all the attention are Mythic and the player models and stuff like that. Player models look pretty cool. I am going to go back to a Night Elf just because, hey, that's what I started off. I might even go to a female Night Elf. You've got to love the fangs. But, and say Mythic's the main thing. Is it a good thing? Not sure. I think it's sort of answering the whole question of what's best, 10 or 25, by getting rid of them both.
Yeah.
So we shall see how it goes.
Okay. And LJ, what about you?
What about me? Huh? What are you talking about?
Yes.
But no, well, I agree with the squish, of course, the squish, especially the pruning, because a lot of classes have a lot of abilities at the moment that just are essentially useless or not used in in the best the builds you have nowadays. They might have been great back in the day, but nowadays they've become useless. I think that's a good thing that they or end up together, or two skills in one, or just removing all the unessential stuff. I just think it's very good. I think this patch has a lot of good things, not really bad things. I mean, like Mythic raiding doesn't apply to me, Heroic raiding as well. I mean, I'm not even sure if I'm going to raid anymore in the next expansion. I mean, just going to enjoy the game itself and not go put myself on raiding duty.
Such a casual.
Yeah,
what are
I
you
know.
doing here? We're an
horrible,
elitist podcast crew.
Well, okay, see you then. Bye.
You're filth.
I know, and I enjoy it. But no, I mean, there's not a lot of bad things in this patch so far. So I'm just waiting to see when it hits, and then I'll probably play the game again for a week, and then wait till the expansion. Yeah, let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's.
So, I mean, everybody knows the game is boring at the moment, so this might, liven up it a little bit. Maybe even last till the expansion, but we'll see what happens. I mean, there's still 1.5 months between it. Well, depending on when it releases, of course. So, like a month, say a month at least, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's looking good, and I'm really hopeful for the expansion.
Okay. Well, I gotta agree with you guys. The stats squish is pretty nice. I am disappointed in how it scales pretty quickly up at level 100. I'm currently over 200k health on my hunter on beta. I got some more items, so it's going up pretty quickly. And
yeah,
I'm slightly worried about that.
That's the bit when you said earlier I was worried about as well, because at the end of the day they've done the stats squish because what you're saying that you go from let's say 38k if you had a bog standard geared character, and this not like we've got heroic gear and that. So I think my main character unbuffed got like 700k or something like that at the moment. But you're not in raid gear, so you've got to be predicting that in raid gear you'll be at 300k quite quickly, and then you've got to be thinking that in the next tier of raiding you'll be pushing 400. So you've got to be thinking by the end of this expansion we're pushing 400, 500k. Tanks should be pushing 400, 500k by the end of the expansion. So you're almost back at what you were anyway. So with making it go like they are, is it almost just delaying the issue again? Are they going to have to do another stat squish at the end of this expansion as well?
Well, the problem is PvP. That's the problem they need to fix. Then they can stop interfering with PvE, doubling the amount of health you get from stamina. That's the major issue. And that's something we discussed in a few podcasts ago as well. So we won't go in that whole thing again, but In that sense, you could actually say for me that's the bad part of this patch because I know how it's going to scale. I've seen the how it happens as you go into Warlords, so I don't feel like they've done enough in that sense. So yeah, as far as the mythic rating goes, because progress rater, most important thing for me. I'm honestly not sure. I mean, we've seen how things are currently going in our guild. The transition to getting a bigger roster has been, well, tough. And
Well,
double your
Yeah.
roster, same quality players, not easy.
I reckon so far. You look at what we've done relatively well. I reckon we're in a decent place. So this is from my message perspective. Taking the be on end all, we do 10 man at the moment, mainly because we all did 25 man, LJ included. That went a bit tits up due to issues at the time. People and all this type of malarkey. Is some 25 man guilds people listen to this. People, the history of WoW has always happened. Sometimes good things don't last, and we all prefer 25 man raiding. Purely, we've all preferred 25 man raiding because of. I still think it's a bigger challenge. Coordinating 25 people to do everything is a bigger challenge. That said, with doing 10 man raiding, you do see the other side of it a lot better, and you do realise that even though it's probably easy to get the 10 man coordinated, you lack so many cooldowns and this type of stuff. Like, we're lucky, one raid the other week, we had 3 hunters the entire raid, so any buff we were missing, it was okay. Mezzy, get one of your originally named pets out, please. Okay, that's spell haste. But we managed to get by. But I do think with 10 mans, it does lock setups down a lot more. We would really struggle through a bit of progression. One, we had tank issues, but certain fights, you go there. If we'd have got locked down on a certain tank setup, we'd have got to a certain fight and took us twice as long just for default due to having that certain tank setup, which shouldn't really happen. So I'm talking like with monks and on Malkarok and stuff like that. Like, Mezzy, remember you took your monk for the first time?
Yeah.
Totally on
45 geared heroic Malkarok solo tank phase 2, easy.
No damage whatsoever, and we're just sitting there going, oh, and fair enough. But when we've had other like warriors do it, yeah, they can do it, but you are pumping a lot of healing out on them to get it through. So we did realise that is the hard part of 10 man, but I still think 25 man's high. So now they've just simplified it. Is it a good thing? Yes, it will be a good thing, getting the one decent raid structure down. It will be a good thing in the long run. It's going to be a big struggle for a lot of the smaller guilds out there. But at least a lot of the smaller guilds out there. I'm sort of mentioning LJ's guild here, because I know them as well. They're a nice bunch of people. They won't have to struggle now with just saying, this is the 10 man we want. They can just take, if you have 13, 14 people on a week, you can take 13, 14 people. Keep taking people, and if they want to do Mythic eventually, will hopefully, due to the heroic raids, now it's set, be able to easily get the people raiding every week. So that's going to be a good point. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
For casual guilds, the difficulty changes are going to be great. And that's the majority of the WoW community. So, in that sense, absolutely fantastic. For progress guilds, or I should say mythic progress guilds, in a lesser sense, it'll also be good because you'll be able to gear up quicker for mythic difficulty.
Yeah.
It's just that mythic difficulty itself. That's going to be a really interesting animal to watch.
To see how difficult it is, because are we going to get to mythic difficulty, and are we going to be sitting there saying that's like heroic is now, or are we going to say, oh, actually, it's almost like normal back out? It just depends how it goes.
No, it should be like current heroic. It's just a different name.
Hopefully.
But in that sense, I trust Blizzard. I think that'll be okay.
Oh, are we going to have a new raid eventually? Mythic Extreme.
Mythic Plus.
It's going to be like Final Fantasy. That's not hard enough, so we'll just put Extreme on it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's wrap things up. 6.0, upcoming week or the week after?
Week after.
Week after, okay. I see LJ might be busy.
I muted myself for a moment there. Yeah, sorry. I think October.
Wow. Well done.
Wow, you are a prophet among men. It is like the coming again.
Thank you. I know, I'm great.
Off topic for a moment, but yes, it's October and it's still 22 fucking degrees. So excuse my French. What the flying F?
It's almost as good as my prediction.
Is that a flying F? It's the bird, it's the plane. No, it's a flying F.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's almost as good as my prediction for the actual date WOD release.
Here we go again.
Right. So that
I say this week.
You say this week. Wow. So that's like the 4th. Oh no, that's the 8th.
You mean 8th?
Today is the 4th.
That'd be the 8th.
Yeah. So 8th of October. I'm not sure because on one side I see these new beta and PTR builds every day.
Just say a date, man. Come on.
Come on.
Because...
Come on.
You can do it. Don't explain it until tomorrow. Come on.
No, I want to give my reasoning. Because of the strange everyday builds, I am also going to say the 8th. It might be a bit optimistic, but it feels like something different. And I would just like to say that this is Matt's last podcast with us. I don't think he'll be alive next week.
Probably not.
May I say, people, Mazzy has threatened to kill me 4 times this week.
Only 4 times? That must be the record for the lowest.
What he doesn't realise is I'm 6'4" now. He's
I realised that.
6'4", quite a big bloke. But, you know, he's going to kill me viciously.
I would say he's more agile, but then again, I know Messi, so he's not. He's not more agile.
Right. Nah, Matt will be here next podcast, assuming there's no news this week or upcoming week, I should say.
Anyway.
Okay. Off-topic stuff aside, I think it's time to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed the survival guide portion of the podcast and the discussion portion as well. Definitely, the off-topic things aside, I hope you enjoyed it. And I would like to thank LJ for joining me.
Glad to be here, as always.
And I'm not going to thank Matt because of the things he's saying in Skype chat.
I love you too.
If you liked our stuff, please comment, subscribe, click on the like button. We love to see people actually enjoy the content we produce. You can follow
however
us,
random it is.
However random it is. Just like that interruption. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/wowweekly or twitter.com/bbmezzy. Check us out on wowweekly.net, our website where we also keep you up to date with what's happening in the World of Warcraft. As well as a lot less now though, editorials and articles and stuff like that. Real life is really busy, and to be completely honest, I manage the website pretty much on my own. So when things get really busy for me, it slows down on the website. I'm sorry for that, but I don't have the income to support myself with just WoW Weekly.
Donate.
No. No.
So donate to Messi's PayPal. So
I do actually have one, but no.
So no. Donate to my PayPal, and
All right, see what I have to deal with every week. I can't even finish the podcast properly. Thanks for watching.
We
I'm Nezzy,
apologize.
and I'll see you again next time before they can say anything else.